Our conversation continues this week on the Magnates. Focus is still on poverty alleviation. Come with us, let's go over to our resource person, Dr. Godwin Ehigiamuose, the founder of LAPO Lift Above Poverty organization. The interactive session will continue. Come with us.
So we've been able to build that a sort of solidarity. And other things could be that we have invested hugely in staff development.
Capital.
Yes, we did.
Capacity building.
Yeah, we did. The reason was, again, not by choice at the beginning. It was the fact that we were one of the pioneers. And obviously, we never had anywhere where we can poach staff. Okay. So we have to develop. Our institute today, that started as a training unit, became institute, and today is accredited as a monotechnic. So
training others, not just your
training
staff.
others, yes.
All this other added advantage you talked about, or incentive as it were,
yes,
are they coming to your lenders for free?
Yes, sure. They're coming.
Like the health, the scholarship, and all that.
Yes, they are. They are free. Let me tell you the origin of the scholarship. In 2006, that should be about 15 years ago, we won the international award called Grammy Foundation Award for Excellence in Microfinance. When I went for the presentation, after the normal presentation, and they gave me $10,000.
Wow.
As prize. And when I got back, we reflected on what do we do with this money?
Giving back.
And we decided to say, let's use it to set up a scholarship scheme for children of our clients. And so that was the seed fund of the LAPO scholarship fund today you have. Okay. So every year, LAPO and some of our partners make contribution to that fund. And it is through that fund that we have provided scholarship for children for primary and also university.
Wow.
So we started actually focus on secondary because we realized that children from very poor homes tend to drop out at the secondary level.
Yes.
And so we needed to attack that. But now we have those who are benefiting. So you see that LAPO contribution and all that.
You see, this negates some of the, negative stories we hear about LAPO. Some say that you don't take kindly. No. You use every other thing, including extrajudicial methods to collect money. How do you relate that? You need to debunk that.
Yes, I think, let me put it this way. Yeah, we hear all those things. But if you see a typical micro LAPO clients, what's a typical LAPO client? A hardworking woman who needs the money to enhance their businesses. We do also know that there are other people, they simply take the money and to do other things. And when it becomes very difficult for them to repay, they tend to assume the normal approach of average Nigerian, that when you take a loan, you don't have obligation for repayment. So we do what we call pre-loan training. For every LAPO client, before you take loan, then you have to go to training. And the training is simply about trying to tell you, first of all, what LAPO is not. We are not a church. We are not that. But again, what LAPO is. And then we also try to emphasize that we know that you cannot go to a commercial bank to take loan, but we have done that for you as an intermediary. But you own two obligations. The strongest of the obligation, the stronger of the obligation, or the better the obligation, that you use the loan well, low utilization. Because when you do that, then the second, this follow-up obligation is that you make a repayment. So that's we insisted that we needed. We don't take anybody to God, we don't, but we simply just use group methodology. And sometimes some of our group leaders could actually be a bit very, harsh. They also tell you that, because they have very difficult time. But that notwithstanding, who are those complaining? We try to do a study. We do the study that those people, obviously, who ordinarily will not take LAPO money because they don't have a business, or if they have a business, they have not invested the money in the business. But for one that is complaining, we have thousands. Let me tell you, LAPO today in Nigeria alone disburses between 14 and 16 billion naira every month.
Your capital base is up to that now.
No, just the loan. The loan they take, the amount of loan every month, we give them between 14 and 16 billion every month. So you can know what that will become in a year. And so, since the beginning of LAPO, we have done more than 1.3 trillion in loan. People have taken this loan. People are still taking this loan because they know what it does for them. Let me give you an example. Before I stepped down at the bank, we had a customer forum for the Eastern States.
Exactly, I was coming to that.
Yeah, or to Cross River and all that. And one lady from Akwa Ibom, as well, he came to me with some group of other women and said, "Sir, I have vowed that the day I will see the founder of LAPO, I will prostrate like this and say, thank you for what you are doing for Akwa Ibom women. Sir, do I do it now?" Obviously, I did not allow her to do that. There was another one. That was quite emotional for me. I was a chairman of a wedding reception. You know, towards the end of when people start going, and all that. So this middle-aged woman walked to me where I sat down, put her mouth to my ear, and said strongly, "You lifted me out of the pit." And I look at her. She quickly read my countenance. Maybe I was thinking whether it's my sister. No, she said, "No, I'm not your sister. I'm a LAPO woman." And tears ran off my eyes. So you have so much people that three women. Yes. Three women came to my office and said, "I want to come and thank you. See our children, they got scholarship, and they have just graduated." And when we were told a story which I don't want to say here, it was really pathetic what she went through before she got her scholarship. So these are in LAPO system today.
Lives.
In LAPO system today we have 10,300 and something full-time staff, not the cleaners, not the others, and all that.
Professionals.
So we do know that we have these pockets of
you have added value, you have given back to the society, and then you're still doing it, and you are spreading. You talked about customer forum. Beyond taking this loan, scholarship, health, and all that, do you mold them in the type of businesses they go into? Because this program will say lending a voice to business growth. How do you mold them? How do you ensure that they succeed? Not just about getting your money back and all that. How do you ensure they succeed so that they can also grow in their business?
A component of the pre-loan training is actually micro business management training, which actually look at basically, it's not probably as sophisticated as you have in business schools, where we train them on how to use the money, how to manage money, because that's a big challenge for many of them. You may not believe it. Even people at the bottom of the society, they want to spend so much on a CUB, you want to do that, and they will try to say, no, these are not what it should be. But we have NGO that also support them with literacy, financial literacy training, and a few other things. Whether we tell them what to do, right from day one, we said that was not our problem. The reality, I think most of us at the top, we do fully not understand this. The ordinary people knows what to do. The other person at the bottom knows what to do. The whole problem is the fact that he has not been given opportunity to be successful. That is the same thing we're talking about poverty. Poor people are not necessarily lazy. I see women working, going to the market 6:30 and come back at 7 in the evening. They work very hard. The real problem is this. They are operating from a very slim economic base. And so the returns on their effort is minimal. And it is that area we want to intervene, infuse more capital into their business.
So they can turn it around. Okay, now you keep talking about women. Do you even have men taking these loans at all?
Oh yes, we have men. Very many men are coming in, but I can tell you that at the beginning it was 100% women. Even my staff, I was the only male or two.
We saw male
staff. So at that time, but that gradually.
What's the interest for women, really?
Yeah, so again, I think this is also a development reality. You know, the reality.
We are more differentiated, I mean.
No. I think, let me explain this. I think this is, it's not, we don't have any policy statement that says that only women will be. But this is the development reality. Let me tell you. See, most of the women we have today probably were children who were deprived of education, while the boys have access to education. So they were not sufficiently prepared to meet the challenges of adulthood. And therefore, in our environment today, where men marry down and women marry up, maybe that's clear. So if you therefore see a poor man, he's most likely to be a husband of a poorer woman.
Wow.
And so we felt that we needed to have our limited resources target at where the problem is more acute.
The reality now is that the economy is really, it's on the downward trend.
Yes.
Several factors are responsible for that. Is that anyway impacting on your creditors?
Well, it does. It does. But we need to also respond. We feel that there are two ways, where you look at it. I remember there was a time that we went through that for some years ago, maybe under the military and all that. And we had what we call a customer forum, because we meet with our clients. We have what we call branch council. A branch council is all the leaders of the group. They come together, they elect one of them as their leader, and the branch manager is the secretary. So they meet periodically. We try to find out what happened. Most of the women say that this is the time they think that they need more resources. And why? Because increasingly, as their husbands are losing their job, they are having more pressure on them. And to be able to meet those things, they need more resources, more loan. So you see that it was, for us, it was a bit positive in the sense that you're going to have more disbursement, so to speak. Then on the other hand, you're going to also have a situation where the repayment, they may have some challenges in the repayment or whatever it is, but we try to also moderate that. How do we do that? People don't talk about that. Since 2013, any LAPO client, say women who takes a loan, automatically have their life insured, their marketplace insured against fire, and also against disability. And so when that happens, if it comes to a point where we think that it is not possible to make repayment, the underwriter, i.e. the insurance company, come in. At the beginning, when we structured the policy, and good at I want to thank the insurance company, I won't mention their name, that actually structured that with us then. For example, if a woman takes 100,000 naira and she has repaid 90,000 and she dies, the insurance will bring the entire 100,000. We simply take the 10,000 to complete her repayment and send the 90,000 to her family.
Wow.
So for you and I, 90,000 in a grip position may not make much impact. But if for a very poor, we could see how, So then for them, it was a situation where many of them would say, we thought that our daughter or our wife has a loan for you. We actually wonder how we can repay. But now you are bringing money to us. So these are things that we do that make those who are serious to continue to patronize.
Curiously, what's the percentage you are looking at here? In terms of interest of this loan.
Yeah, interest rate, the first thing I always tell people when they ask this is to say that interest rate on microloan is high because it's expensive to deliver microloans. I will explain this. If LAPO would do 16 billion, 16 billion in a month. If a commercial bank is going to do that, probably to only about 2 or 3 borrowers or 4. So if it's about 4 borrowers, that's an average of 4 billion. And then the borrower, the bank, commercial bank will have only 4 borrowers, 4 applications to appraise, 4 loan to monitor and all that. If LAPO were going to do that at 100,000, you're going to have thousands of borrowers.
lenders.
So you have 1,000 borrowers to application, thousands another, and that has implication for cost. Okay, that is one. The second implication for cost is this. If you do microfinance the way we do it in LAPO, you are likely going to have more women asking for loan more than what they can save. And therefore, so banks are supposed to use the savings for their loan. But when you have demand for loan is higher than savings, we have to go to other financial institutions, international institutions, local banks, we have to borrow. And we borrow not cheaply. So if you add the high cost of operation plus the high cost of the way you borrow, and then there's no way a microfinance bank can give a lower interest rate. But what microfinance bank does that still make people to come, what I told you, remove all those conditions. Remove those conditions. Give them the money the time they need it. Are you following it? So LAPO, for instance, have what we call mid-term loan. Mid-term loan means that if you take 100,000, you pay half to 50. You can be given on that loan so that you increase the volume of your business. Then we have what we call SDD, same day disbursement. That means if you are going to complete your repayment, estimated repayment this morning, LAPO has already prepared another loan for you. You pay this money, you can come in the afternoon to the branch to take a higher loan. Wow. These are what incentives. These are what ordinary people value more than the interest rate.
Interesting. You are hearing it hot, direct from Dr. Godwin Ehigiamuose, the founder of LAPO. Let's go for another break. When we come back, we'll start to round the session today. We'll be back shortly. You're still on the Magnates, and we're still chatting with founder of LAPO, Lift Above Poverty organization. Well, the bank seems to have taken the shine of other members of the conglomerate, so to say. I've already known you as the MD or chairman of LAPO, but before this interview, you said you have another feather to the cap again. You're now the MD or chairman of Gozi Insurance, right? Yeah. So how did that come about? Is that complementing? You talked about insurance earlier. Is that another incentive for your lenders?
Yeah, before I quickly I say at the beginning of LAPO, I conceptualize the poverty as autopause, health, material deprivation and all that. So by some time, we realized that when you provide loan to people, they invest in their business, they earn, they could build assets. But we realized that until you are able to also protect those assets, then you have not made any impact on poverty. Because fire in the marketplace can wipe out all what your clients have actually accumulated over time. So we decided to say, look, there's need for insurance. But the good time was also that the National Insurance Commission at that time was also putting together the guidelines that will lead to the establishment of stand-alone micro insurance company. And so it was very easy for us to get the first license.
Stand-alone, is that the acronym of your...
Well, no, when I say stand-alone, actually it's descriptive because you have micro insurance that even the conventional insurance provides. They provide it as part of their, their portfolio, their service portfolio, policy portfolio. But this one is purely a regulated micro insurance company. And so we decided to say, look, let us set up one. And we became what that has done for us is this. It's amazing. Some of our clients, especially there was a time in Lagos, there was fire in the place and all that. I think they pay a premium of almost 130 something or 40 million. That's the small insurance, addressing those challenges. So for us, we think that beyond microfinance, asset protection through insurance policy is critical to poverty alleviation. And so that's what we do. In addition to that, we've done health awareness for more than 30 years. 5 years ago, we decided to say, why not go to intervention? And so, given the fact that the NGO has a lot of some dividends from the bank, they decided to set up one of the best medical facilities in Benin. It's called Benin, and I will not because I don't want to do Harvard.
You're already doing it. Don't
So
be scared.
I didn't. Okay. So
go ahead.
yes, a Benin Medical Care in Benin that has the hospital and a diagnostic from MRI to the basic machine you require, and that facility is programmed in the second phase to have rural satellites. That is to say that you have a small cottage in any community and it's linked to the facility in Benin. Wow. And so that is still pursuing the health mandate of our health, credit, and social empowerment.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, the next question will be that in this time of the economy, you are not only interested in people coming to learn. Do you really think anybody to go into any business now?
Yes, I just came out of a mentoring session with a number of people online this morning. And the first thing I told them, I said, you are young. So that's you can become a great entrepreneur. You have many years before you. The second thing is that while you're going to be a great entrepreneur, is that we have a lot of problems at this time. I strongly believe that if you look deeply, it is the time of troubles that great people, great entrepreneurs really impact. Yeah, because on the average, a business is actually a problem-solving initiative. And let me give you an example. If there were no SAP, if there were no increase in the level of poverty, LAPO obviously would have not succeeded because there was no way I could establish LAPO 1974 where you have a dodgy and everybody was boom. So I think this is a time I would encourage young people think deep, conceptualize clearly on what you want to do, and go ahead.
Great. When in research for this interview, we also observed that you have passion for agric. Is that correct?
Yes, we have. First of all, we do it from the perspective of giving loans to agriculture. We strongly believe that is my personal and as shared by some other leaders of microfinance in Africa. That if we are unable to make microfinance relevant to agriculture in Africa, we have not done anything. So we have that. On the side for me personally, we try to also get involved in some crops.
Now, use your diversification. Do you think it's a plus to this economic downturn that we are in?
No, what if you say that we're using the opportunity to address various segments? For instance, we are addressing the whole issue of risk management with microinsurance. Health situation is a big challenge. We know where our challenges lie in this country in terms of the rather poor cost social services. What are they? Education and health. And so we are also getting involved in that. We are making our impact. And so diversification for us was not really something that was done for the sake of diversification. It was essentially to have institutions that are mutually reinforcing. So all these, our institutions are within one objective, affecting human beings. It is for that reason we are not in oil and gas. We are not, we are actually, doing things. To say all what we shall do shall touch the human people, whether it is the health, the microfinance, the insurance.
Congratulations. Now, admiring you and really wishing to emulate your good examples that you have said, how do you counsel, or particularly in the area of capacity building, which has worked for you so well?
Yes. When people talked about what probably has made LAPO, be where we are, I think to a large extent I will give it to governance. We are very strong in terms of governance. But I think another area we have done well is, again, capacity development for our staff. it was not also by choice, like I said earlier. It was simply because we never had anywhere to get people who were already experienced in microfinance. So we have to invest hugely in capacity building by setting up, first of all, the institute and all that. We devote huge budget into human development. It was for that reason that we won a special award from the Industrial Training Fund, where the Director General himself actually came to our office and presented that when it comes to really capacity building, we did that. We don't see it. Some people feel that, even some internal people feel that we're doing so much in terms of capacity, putting so much money. But we are beginning to realize that it has helped us to be, the institution to be resilient. To a resilient, to endure, and for various layers of the organization to take on leadership. About 4 of us left the bank at the top, like our generation. And the next generation were properly here. The next level of management were well prepared for what they are doing, and they're doing well.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Final words for everybody. This is a very tough with the economy. It is inflation is not smiling at anybody. No. What's your counsel?
Well, I think the response, especially for the ordinary people at the bottom of the society, is to try to rise to the occasion. Because the good thing I have come to realize with those people is the fact that they are more capable, they are more resilient, as you and I think. So eventually they will overcome.
They just need to be encouraged. Thank you so much. It's been great. I'm sure we have been mentored on the program, the Magnates, today. We've been chatting with the founder of Lift Above Poverty Organization, and also the chairman, Gozi Insurance, Micro Insurance Company. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much.
For lending a voice to the growth of our business. I hope you have been mentored. Call it mentoring on television. That's the Magnate today. I'm sure you enjoyed what you have watched today. The only other way to keep being mentored on this program is to join us same time next week when we shall bring you another professional that will also tutor us, mentor us the business school way. Until then, do keep watching. Bye for now.